Hey, what's up, guys? So it's Big French. I'm gonna do let's play in English this time. Hope it would be cool for you. So what I'm gonna do first is to introduce this mod, which is a total overhaul from Rome 2 Total War. So it's called Divide et Impera, which mean in English divide and rule, I think. So the patch I'm under is 1.13, so it's okay. The 40th one is pretty much bad for divided Impera. Some formation are broken, like hoplites, so don't play actually with it. And and what this mod is doing, it's like I said, an overhaul. So the system changed a lot. I mean, you've got 40 TPY, which stand for 4 turns per year. That's it. And total overall on units, like you can see, RDA has been revamped. Revachi, I don't know that much because I don't play them. Ayazdan, which is a new faction introduced by Divided Impera team. So as you can see, you have some units in melee, spear, pike, missile, shock cavalry, melee cavalry, missile, field artillery. Um, for the Gallic one, there are Arverni with a lot of units, which are pretty cool. As you can see, the stats have been tweaked to reflect much more realistic battles, which is not really the case in vanilla game. Uh, it's Yes, battle time is about 20 minutes in a face test. Maybe a bit less, but it's average time. So as you can see, yes, there are really a lot of units. A10s, yes. So some of them are unlockable with farms. Something that Divided Impera does, which is pretty cool. As you can see, you've got for Greek and successor kingdoms, you've got the first reform, which is Teurophoroi, and after you've got the Thorax reform, which is the last you can have. And for Romans, you have 3 reforms. You got the Polybian one, the Marian one, and the latest is Imperial one. So as you can see, you can have Cohors Aquilae, Cohors Prima, and when you click on it, you see on which reform you can get them. So this time is Marian, so it's the second one, which happen turn 100, I think. And that's pretty great. They did also auxiliaries, which is really cool in a historical way. I mean, because Romans did use a lot of auxiliaries for their armies, and yes, they are pretty good in this one. And you can have them when you get some regions like. Batavian, don't really know where you can have them. Ligurum, yes, that's just up uh, upside Italy, I think. I'm not really sure, so maybe it's an error, but you'll see. That's really cool. yes, you've got plenty of faction. You've got Bactria, which is successor kingdoms, but I will explain much more in campaign. So here's the culture, the cultures that you can have. So you get Romani with 3 houses, Cornelia one, which is for CPO families, and Sula, I think. Yes, that's right down. Julia, which is for Gaius Julius Caesar, and Junior one, which is the family of Junius Brutus. Okay. And as you can see, you've got some pro and cons with each house. Like Cornelia, I've got plus 3% tax rate, which is pretty cool. Disdain for plebs, that's a malus. So you've got public order penalty, so a minimum of -4, so pretty bad. And Phil-Hellenes, moderate diplomatic bonus with all Hellenic factions, which is pretty cool. I think the hardest one in Romani is Junior one, because you've got this malus political underdogs, which is really bad for diplomacy. So as you can see, you've got moderate diplomatic penalty with all factions, and without any trade agreement, you'll see that it's really hard. So let's continue with Carthage. As you can see, it's Carta d'Astim. So same here, you've got 3 families, dynasties. You've got the Barcid one with Hannibal, Amilcar too, and you've got the Magonid one and Anonid one. So I don't know that much about those 2 last, but it's a pretty hard campaign because as you can see, your kingdom is really expanded, and I don't think you can focus that much on everyone. So you have to do a choice for me. So if you go for Syracuse and Rome, or if you go for Iberia Peninsula. After we've got the Gallic tribes, Galleis Gentes, with Arverni, which is in France, like me. They are pretty cool, good units, pretty good roster, yes. Not that much about them. You've got the Nervi, which is upper than Belgica, I think. You've got Boy. I don't really know about them. I think it's, yes, Hungary. And you've got the Galatian, which are really special for barbarians because they are in Asia Minor. So you're already surrounded by a lot of different cultures, because you've got to your left, I think, Pergamon, which is a Hellenic faction. Upside you got the Pontus. On your right you've got Cappadocia, and under you've got I think that Sardes, which is a Hellenic faction too. So let's see about Eastern Empire. So yes, you've got the Pontus, which is pretty cool. A lot of good units, and pretty good start because you're back to the seas, and that's pretty cool. You can have a pretty good commerce, and yeah, good faction to play. Partia, which is a great faction, but they did not get overhauled yet, revamp, and they will be in update 1.1, and like all Eastern Empires, which is pretty cool because that's already a different kind of gameplay, and that's pretty cool. And after that, you've got Ayazdan, which is actual Armenia. Never played them, but seems pretty cool. After that, you've got the Police Hellenikoi, which is all the Hellenic faction, except the successor kingdom, also called Diadokoi, I think. So you've got Pergamon, which is pretty cool, but they are a bit alone in Asia Minor, so it's pretty difficult, but that's pretty cool. You've got the Arche Bosphorus, which is actual Turkey, I think. Pretty strange campaign to play because your territory is special. You've got a city here, one here, and one here, but they are already expanded territories, so pretty hard. Also, you have your neighborhood, which is a nomadic faction. I think it's Sakarauka, and yes, that there's a lot of mounted archers, which are really a pain in the ass when you have to fight them. Also, you have Massilia, which is a great faction. I did play with them a lot of campaigns, also on multiplayers. So these ones have a pretty unique roster because they between Hellenic faction and Celtics one. Yes, so you've got pretty much a mixed roster. So you've got a lot of Arvern unit, but you also have Hellenic one, which is pretty cool. You can get pretty much decent armies with that, and that's a lot of variety and a lot of fun. A bit hard to play because you are surrounded by barbarians, and barbarians. So that's not that easy, but that's if you seek challenge, it's a good faction to play. Ready. After that, you've got Athens, which I don't think I need to describe that much. They got Athenae, which is a pretty good city, and yeah, they got a pretty good roster with a lot of unique units like Athenian one. You've got Sparta, which is pretty hard to play, not because of the troops, which are pretty cool and strong, but because if you don't take Athena, you will have a lot of trouble with commerce, trade, because that's only Terrian one, I should say. And so yes, you have to rely on industry or take a lot of cities. After that, you've got Epirus, which is pretty cool. I am actually doing a let's play, but this time in French on this faction. It's a lot of fun, pretty hard one, and what to say about? They've got pretty unique roster with chariots, elephants. So yes, that's really strange, but really great to play. I do love them. And after that, you've got Syracuse, which is special in in where they are, because they are between Carthage and Worms. So you're pretty don't know how to call that in English, but I think it's a buffer zone. Yes, I think that's it. And that's pretty hard, but it's really great to play. After that, you've got the yes, Germanic gentes, so Germanic tribes, which are pretty cool. I think I'm gonna play Lugii on this one, which is a new faction unlocked and overhauled by Divided Impera team in 0.95, which is under beta, and you can't play at the moment. I've got a kind of exclusivity, and that's pretty cool, but they are so hard to play, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. And after that, you've got Swabi, which are Swaves. They are pretty cool, hard to play on the beginning, but after that they got pretty decent units. Let's get to Iberia, which are actual Spain and Portugal. So you've got Cantabria, which is a Spanish one. Lusitania is for Portugal's. And you've got also Arevaci, which is also Spanish one, sorry. After that, you've got the Daciae, Traciae, and Iliwi. So that's 4 factions, pretty unique to play, I think. I do test some of them, like Ardiae. So they are the only Illyrian tribes, which is pretty hard to make friends, because you're a bit different. But yes, they are pretty good, and that's a good campaign, nice challenge. After that, you've got the Odrysian Kingdom, which is a really great faction, but I do think it's the hardest campaign that you can ever play, actually, on Divided Impera, because they've got a lot of enemies, and not that much about money. So sorry. So you've got to play really well in both ways. So military one and campaign one, I should say. After that, you've got the Tilis Kingdom, which is pretty cool, but I think it's as hard as Odrysian Kingdom. So if you seek challenge, I think those two one are pretty great. I mean, these cultures, yeah, are pretty hard to play. Ardiae, Odrysian Kingdom, Tilis, and Getae. Getae, which is the last faction of this culture. So yes, sorry, but you've got Illyrian, Thracian one, and those one are Dacian one, which are pretty unique. They are so hard to play because you've got not that much unit in the beginning, and after that a lot of cities where you're attacking are with a wall, so they are fortified, and with the unit you have, it's pretty hard. But great campaign, great faction, which beat me on the TWC tournament against a good friend of mine, which is the Caledonian, or Reptilicus from Team Wolf. He's pretty a great guy, a lot of fun, and he's got pretty decent skill on multiplayer battles. So I'm gonna link his channel on this video. But yes, you should look at him and his videos. Really cool, really fun. I got you get something an introduction which is hey motherfucker, what's up? That's pretty fun. Made my day when I saw it, and yes, you should really look at him. After that, you've got the Diadokoi, which is the successor kingdoms. So for history, when Alexander the Great died, he got a pretty decent empire, and then when he died, a lot of people would like to have all of this kingdom, but they were divided into 4-1, I think, which is Antigonidae, which is Macedon, do know how to spell it. Which is a pretty good campaign, pretty hard because your neighborhood don't like you that much, and yes, so they've got I think the smallest kingdom, but it's with Antigonos, I think, which is a pretty good general. And after that, you see the Seleucidae, which is a Seleucid Empire. Got a pretty good empire, really spread out, but you've got a great and strong revenue, and that's that's a lot in the beginning. I think if you begin with divided Impera, it's a good faction because you've got a lot of money, a lot of great units, and the climate is pretty cool. Yes. So for the history, there was Antiochus I Soter, which is son of Alexandrian successor Seleucus Nicator. Nicator was the name of the man who fought, don't know, for his kingdom, and yes, he got a pretty good one. And yes, really, you should play it. That's a great one. After that, you've got Bactria, which is most unknown, at least for me, because I didn't know they were part of the successor kingdom, and they're really extreme east on the map. So pretty strange campaign to play because of your neighborhood, which is a lot with cavalry units, and you don't have that much. You've got a lot of pikes, spear infantry, kind of shit. But if they got horses, you're pretty much fucked up. And yes, that's a lot of. Yes, nice campaign to play. You should try. And let's see what we have next. The Ptolemaioi, which is actual Egypt, and they got as a Seleucid Empire pretty much good territories, but they got a bit different roster. They're really cool to play, and if you want to begin an easy campaign, I think you should try this one too. And yeah, that's it. After that, you've got Britanoi, which is Britain tribes. Actually, they're only Iceni, which is I don't know. They're just an English tribes, and they got chariots, which is pretty unique for barbarian tribes. But that's a lot of fun. And their units are pretty great. You should really give a try. And after that, you've got the last culture that actually on divided Impera, which is Edanim Africanim, which stand I think for African kingdoms. So this one is the Masai Sili, which is a North African tribe, They are between Mauritania and I think that's Numidia. Yes, that's it. And they got a pretty good roster and unique kind of playing. There's a lot of cavalry, it's kind of thing. And I think historically Carthage did employ them a lot as mercenaries, which is pretty cool. And yes, that's a hard campaign to play, and you should really try it if you're looking for challenge. So thank you for following me on the first video. I think this let's play would be a lot of fun. Would be really hard. As I said, I'm gonna play Lugii, which is a new faction in 0.95, and yeah, looking forward to it. Hope you enjoy this one, and let's see us in the next video. See you guys!